Episode number 28. She held him close around the neck, and rocked him on her breast like a child. If, when I tell you, dearest dear, that your agony is over, and that I have come here to take you from it, and that we go to England to be at peace, and at rest, I cause you to think of your useful life laid waste, and of our native France so wicked to you, weep for it. Weep for it. And if, when I shall tell you of my name, and of my father, who is living, and of my mother, who is dead, you learn that I have to kneel to my honored father, and implore his pardon for having never for his sake striven all day, and lain awake, and wept all night, because the love of my poor mother hid his torture from me, weep for it, weep for it. Weep for her, then, and for me. Good gentlemen, thank God. I feel his sacred tears upon my face, and his sobs strike against my heart. Oh, see. Thank God for us, thank God. He had sunk in her arms, and his face dropped on her breast, a sight so touching, yet so terrible in the tremendous wrong and suffering which had gone before it, that the two beholders covered their faces. When the quiet of the garret had been long undisturbed, and his heaving breast and shaken form had long yielded to the calm that must follow all storms, emblem to humanity, of the rest and silence into which the storm called life must hush at last, they came forward to raise the father and daughter from the ground. He had gradually dropped to the floor, and lay there in a lethargy, worn out. She had nestled down with him, that his head might lie upon her arm, and her hair drooping over him curtained him from the light. If, without disturbing him, she said, raising her hand to Mr. Lorry as he stooped over them, after repeated blowings of his nose, all could be arranged for our leaving Paris at once, so that, from the very door, he could be taken away. But, consider. Is he fit for the journey? Asked Mr. Lorry. More fit for that, I think, than to remain in this city, so dreadful to him. It is true, said Defarge, who was kneeling to look on, and hear. More than that, Monsieur Manette is, for all reasons, best out of France. Say, shall I hire a carriage, and post horses? That's business, said Mr. Lorry, resuming on the shortest notice his methodical manners. And, if business is to be done, I had better do it. Then be so kind, urged Miss Manette, as to leave us here. You see how composed he has become, and you cannot be afraid to leave him with me now. Why should you be? If you will lock the door to secure us from interruption, I do not doubt that you will find him, when you come back, as quiet as you leave him. In any case, I will take care of him until you return, and then we will remove him straight. Both Mr. Lorry and Defarge were rather disinclined to discourse, and in favour of one of them remaining. But, as there were not only carriage and horses to be seen to, but travelling papers, and as time pressed, for the day was drawing to an end, it came at last to their hastily dividing the business that was necessary to be done, and hurrying away to do it. Then, as the darkness closed in, the daughter laid her head down on the hard ground close at the father's side, and watched him. The darkness deepened, and they both lay quiet, until a light gleamed through the chinks in the wall,